Alright, let's talk about Win or Lose, one of Pixar's latest popular projects. This is a big shift from what we're used to. It's Pixar's first ever original TV series, and it's not a sequel, it's not a remake, and it's definitely not what you'd expect from Pixar. But is it going to be a hit, or are we looking at another Disney Plus misfire? Let's break it all down. Alright, so this video has two different sections. In the first half, I'm going to be breaking down what the show's actually about, and then in the second half, I'm going to give my review after seeing it. I don't want you guys to feel like anything was really spoiled, and I don't want to warp your perspective if you're going to watch it. If you don't want the review before you get to see the show, you can just come back and watch my review after you've seen it. So first off, Win or Lose is not a movie. This is a Disney Plus series that dropped in December of 2024. It follows a middle school softball team, the Pickles, leading up to their big championship game. But here's the twist. Each episode is told from a different character's perspective. This means that every episode is going to feel completely different, depending on who's telling the story. One episode might be serious, the next could be full of exaggerated daydreams. It's Pixar playing with perspective in a way we haven't seen before. Okay, one of the first things people noticed is the art style. It's a major departure from Pixar's usual hyper-detailed 3D animation. Instead, it has a more flat, stylized look, almost like something you'd expect from Sony Animation rather than Pixar. Some fans are loving the unique approach, while others feel like it looks too simple compared to Pixar's usual standards. And some people are calling it Grubhub animation, which I can see it. But given the show's focus on different perspectives, this art style actually makes a lot of sense. It allows for a lot of flexibility in how each episode looks and feels. This show is a huge gamble for Pixar. Up until now, they've only made movies, and even their spin-offs, like Monsters at Work, have felt more like side projects than real passion projects. But Win or Lose is completely original, which means Pixar is putting a lot of faith into making this work. Plus, Disney Plus shows haven't really been doing their thing lately. A lot of Pixar's recent movies like Luca and Turning Red got dumped onto Disney Plus instead of getting full theatrical releases. So Win or Lose really has to prove that Pixar can thrive on streaming and not just in theaters. The biggest question is, will people stick around for an entire Pixar series? A movie keeps you hooked for 2 hours, but a show needs to keep people coming back week after week. And let's be honest, Pixar is great at storytelling, but do people really want to see a full season about a middle school softball team? The whole different perspectives angle is cool, but if the characters aren't interesting enough, this could get old really fast. So boom, if you don't know, Win or Lose follows a middle school softball team in the week leading up to their championship game. But here's the twist. Every episode is told from a different character's perspective. One episode might show the coach's side of the story, and the next is from a kid on the team. It's a really interesting way to tell a story, but does it actually make the show better? Let's start with what works. The perspective shifts actually make the show feel fresh, which is something Pixar really needed after so many sequels. Disney should probably take notes. The animation, while different from their usual movie style, actually fits the tone really well. And the best part? The characters. Some of them are really relatable, and Pixar does a good job of making you care about their personal struggles. But not everything lands perfectly. Since every episode follows a different character, some episodes are just way less interesting than others. The pacing also feels off at times. Some parts drag while others move too fast. And while the animation works for the story, I won't lie, I kinda miss Pixar's classic look. It almost feels like they're trying to go for a cheaper style to fit Disney Plus. The real question is, will people actually watch this? Pixar has struggled with Disney Plus originals. Luca was great, but Turning Red didn't get the attention it deserved. So is Win or Lose gonna break that trend? I think if you love Pixar and character-driven stories, you'll enjoy it. But for casual fans, I'm not sure if this has enough hype to pull them in. So let's talk about the viral aspects of this show. The way I got introduced to this show is because somebody that I know showed it to me because of one part that they saw online, and ever since then, I've been seeing it all over social media too. There's a part where a character's dad is driving the car and he's singing All My Life by Casey and JoJo. Now that's a huge iconic song, but specifically in the Black community, and they have been eating it up. You see comments everywhere saying that somebody in the writer's room has to be Black for this scene to be in the show. And they're right. One of the directors named Michael Yates is Black. And a lot of people are loving the representation that they're seeing in the show, and they're assuming that it's likely because of him, which is fair. I don't really see or care about race, so it doesn't really matter to me, but I can appreciate different cultures being represented in the show. Now, for the other viral moment. One of the main character's moms likes to twerk, and everybody has been talking about how thick she is. I have never really been a fan of twerking in children's shows. A lot of people say it's just a dance. A lot of people say it's not inappropriate. I think it's very inappropriate personally. But I grew up watching Chowder, SpongeBob, and Billy and Mandy, so I can't really talk. I just think it's not really funny. I feel like there are better ways to get your point across rather than trying to be relatable by having a main character twerk, especially a mom. It's kind of weird, especially when most of the people that are watching are probably kids. Just kind of weird. But hey, I grew up watching Dan Schneider shows, so who am I to talk? So overall, Win or Lose is definitely different from what we're used to. It's got some great character moments, a unique storytelling style, but also a couple of minor issues, but nothing that ruins the show for me. Is it Pixar's best? No. Keep in mind, they made the Toy Story series, Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc. Like literally iconic points in not only animation history, but history in general. But is it worth checking out? If you're into these kinds of stories, absolutely. At the end of the day, Win or Lose is a bold move for Pixar. It's their first original series, the animation style is a big change, and it's coming at a time when Disney Plus content is a hit or miss. If things keep going the way they're going, this could be a sleeper hit, but if it doesn't land, this might be another case of Pixar should have stuck to movies. Oh, and by the way, me and YouTube think that you'll like this video, so click it and see if we're right. But what do you think? Is Win or Lose shaping up to be a win? Or do you think this looks like a loss for Pixar? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more animation deep dives. See you in the next one.